So I wanted to share with you why I love rental properties, and I also wanted to share with you the 3 most important lessons that I have taken from my own experience and from the experience of serving over 1,000 clients who we have done the exact same thing for. And that's what I'm going to share with you today, okay? The number 1 key is something that I want you all to write it down, okay? This is something that is super important, and if you've talked to a lot of property managers, or if you've talked to a lot of realtors, you haven't heard this as being the most important thing, but I'm telling you that it is, okay? The number 1 key is to focus on long-term tenant stays if you want to win in rental properties, okay? That means there are some other things that people talk about a lot that aren't nearly as important, okay? We're gonna talk about long-term resident stays and why this is the single greatest thing of importance to you and why you need to align yourself with a teammate who truly gets it. I'm going to share a story with you first. This is Matt and Sarah. Matt and Sarah came to us, live in Fort Lauderdale, so not in Jacksonville, and they came to us. They were in a world of trouble. All right. Now, going back to the time when the market had crashed, this was 2012 when Matt started to acquire his portfolio. So the market had crashed. It was a great time to be buying properties in 2012, wasn't it? So Matt saw that. He timed the market perfectly. He bought 75 properties. So he put a significant portion of his wealth into rental properties at that point in time, which was a great move. But he chose the wrong property manager. He was in a world of trouble. Of these 75 houses, Matt came to us and said, I need you guys to take a different approach. What I'm doing right now is being cash flow negative times 75 houses, and it's killing me. Okay? So Matt said, I'm coming to you, but I need to prepare you. There is a ton of maintenance work that needs to be done on my rental properties. And we were like, yeah, I'm sure you got 75 properties. I'm sure it's a lot. Hey, listen, we can handle it. Over $200,000 worth of maintenance items were required to get Matt's properties back into decent rental shape. $200,000. You all seem like you could take that. That's a lot of money for a rental property portfolio.
And we you divide that by 75, that ain't that much.
You got $200,000 in your pocket, my friend?
I just put a new air conditioner in my so
You're right. $3,000 per property, right? That sounds reasonable, but if it's all hitting at the same time, right? And so, he was not in a good state. And we said, well, what's going on? What is the average duration of your tenants? What are they staying? It was less than 1 year, right? So what you find is that if you have short-term tenant stays, you're going to get killed with the maintenance costs that come with putting the house back into rental shape after a term, right? Maintenance just doesn't happen in a straight line. Maintenance happens very little, very little, very little while your resident's in the home, and then when they leave, there's a big bang, right? There's a big punch to the gut, right? It's not fun. So this is what Matt was experiencing over and over and over again. And we said, Matt, we're going to do it differently. Matt, we focus on long-term tenant stays. One of the big ways that we do that is we sign long-term leases. So whereas 99.9% of the world out there signs 1-year leases, we don't do that. In my office, when a resident comes to potentially rent a home with us, and they are the most wonderful resident, but they want to sign a 1-year lease, we politely tell them that, I'm sorry, you're not qualified to rent with us. We only serve renters that sign 2- and 3-year leases. And in addition to that, we re-sign over 70% of our leases. We focus on re-signing as if it's a sales opportunity. You should see the people in my office talk about their percentages of re-signs. Every week in our team meeting, we talk about the number of re-signs that we make, because I understand that when I do that, I'm putting thousands of dollars into the pocket of a client, right? Re-signs, long-term tenant stays, these are the mechanisms that you need in order to achieve long-term tenant stays. And so we put Matt on this program, on our program, to be able to achieve long-term tenant stays, and in 7 months, we were able to take his average lease term. Now at this point, I was 7 months in. I didn't know his average duration of tenant stay at that point, but what I looked at is his average lease term. It was a 12-month lease term, and in 7 months, his average lease term across all 75 properties up to 29 months. At the same time, we were able to increase his rents $71 and increase his overall portfolio 19% in 7 months. Is that pretty cool? The basis of that was re-signing. the basis of that was extending the relationship that we had with residents.